All right. So here we go then. 18 drivers on the grid today. I'm very interested to see how this goes. We've got two champions on this grid, of course. Now I'm interested to see what the AlphaTauri and the Williams will be able to do. Dom with things to prove. Kush with the title to defend, and he's coming out of the pit lane now as we speak. The reigning champion also wants to be first out on track. The Zinc retires from the session. A qualifying ban there, I believe, for Zinc. As we prepare then. Kai cheering on the Ferrari team. Ferrari are on, not to have any spoilers here, but Ferrari are on pole. In case you live under a rock. And as a Ferrari fan, I am my muffle for my headset had fallen off. I am a Ferrari fan, I'm a Leclerc fan, and so I was at work celebrating, and my co-worker, who is an F1 fan, told me not to say anything, but he already knew because I'm a big Ferrari fan. I'm surprised he asked if Max was on pole or not. I mean, if I was celebrating a Max pole, you might as well just put me in a grave. There's some knock me out, try and knock some sense back into me. Not because I despise Max, but because, I mean, come on, we can't have Max on pole every time, right? It's good to see variety in F1. And speaking, well, me talking about variety, there's a Ferrari on pole who have been at the top end of F1 since race 2. So yeah, variety. I'm only joking. Kushmania on a flying lap here, let's see. Purple first, of course you'd expect that. Just starting to get settled into the car here. Crush does have Mads to contend with in the Mercedes, who is a rapid driver. It's a very awkward corner for no ABS runners, and for ABS runners alike. I don't know why, but Ireland always favours just doing one late running quali. I'm not sure why there's not a couple more just to get to grip with the limit, you know? Kush, purple middle. Purple middle for Kush. Very smooth through here. Taking 4th on the exit. Could have been a lot more aggressive on throttle throughout this lap, but nonetheless, he comes to the line at 128.7. Decent. And once again, I am gonna remute and just continue eating because I'm starving. toes hammer. Vanilla. Just about finished eating as well. I'm back then. Crushmania leads the way. Adam close behind. And Trondic, well, Adam's a couple tenths off from Trondic, a couple tenths off that. Torment, Snake, and Flexi separated by just 12 thousandths of a second. How about that? Lewis and Andres separated by 8 thousandths of a second, and then a further 9 thousandths back is Raven. Close margins out here, sort of in a bubble between Raven and LFC, or in a sandwich I should say, between the McLaren. Ironland a 130.1 and Rules a 130.2. Our Davey, I'm not sure if he's the winner. Small Pierce was on the rookie. I love that. I love that. Speaking of, let's watch this lap from Dom. Decently hooked up through 1, 2, 3 and into 4 as well. Very nice. Opening up the track nicely here. Missing both apexes is what you, well, missed the first a little bit and barely missed the second. You don't want to be on the curbs. The curbs are not the apexes there. Dom opening up the corner there, gets it rotated beautifully into there. Straightened it out. This is really, really good so far from the AlphaTauri. Load the car, load the front, chuck it in, and this is looking like a solid time here from Dom. A very, very decent lap. No purple sectors, but you would not expect that from someone moving up. It's Flexi, speaking of moving up, moves up to provisional pole, 16 thousandths. The gap to Crushmania. Slots into P3 as well. Here comes Dom to the line. P8. Wow. So the debutant has pace here. Lexi showing why Ferrari is the greatest car brand in the world. That's the thing. Going on a small bit of a tangent here, but it's mad to think in real life that there are some major car brands. We're talking Aston Martin, Alfa Romeo. We're talking Mercedes, Ferrari. You've got Alpine, which is owned by the great Renault company, which is massive. They may not make the best cars in the world. In fact, as a mechanic, I can say they are French, so they are automatically, for lack of better words, shit. Because they are backwards. Again, another tangent, but the French just build their cars wrong. For Alpine, so you've got 5 big car brands. McLaren, that makes 6. Haas, they're independent. Williams are independent. Red Bull and AlphaTauri. You've got so then you've got a couple independents, Haas and Williams. Not really associated with any car brands. Haas, CNC Milling, Williams, Electricals. They do a lot of racing tech outside of F1. Of course, they did supply the batteries for Formula E for a long time. Supply and develop them. then you've got a clothing brand, and at the top of Formula One, you have an energy drink brand. That just shows you the power play. The Red Bull are a very well-oiled machine in every single competition, and it's because they don't have corporate pressure. It's just, you know what, party atmosphere. That's it. That's what they were known for, Red Bull, back in their days. Back in the V8 era, was partying. And they've taken that positive attitude and lack of corporate oversight and micromanaging and pressure from the powers that be, from the car brands. Oh, Andreas, what a save, son. Hit the wall, but good job to not be out of the second with that. But yeah, they are away from all that, which is why they are so good. As Adam has gone top of the times now by 300ths of a second. Very close at the sharp end, and that's not going to help flex his hopes. A spin there. He will need to make way for Cushmania. Come on, Kush. We saw that on screen, mate. That sounds of the pole phone. I'll be flipping that, seeing if there's a lift or not. I'll publish it if there is anything, but that is up to the drivers to challenge. I am not allowed to challenge. But that was track limits. That lap time should not be a thing. Meaning no disrespect, but yeah, he got a lift off there, man. He may have. But again, we'll forget about it, because it was him who had a word with me, saying about provisional penalties and that. Understandably, because when you're watching for a race and someone's talking, saying, yo, you're going to get a 10 seconds for this, a 5 for this, I would be livid. I'm like, come on, stop assuming things. That was straight a little bit past the white line. Leave it for now with Cushmania on provisional pole position then. LFC for life on an outlap. Dom on a flyer here. Already gone on board with the AlphaTauri once. Pardon me, that was a diabolical one, my apologies. Raven P12. You will be looking to make his way up a little bit higher than that. Of course, came third in the last championship, I believe. Speeding into the pits again. You can do that in even if you have pit assist. Kush is a menace around here. Yeah. Whoa, Raven. Good job to not be out of the session there. Lets it just roll back where he can go full left lock and straighten it out. Wow, word. Bit of a spinala there. Yeah. I think Kush just needs to play it safe. There's no need to be flying into the pit lane. Not saying that in the terms of, oh, you can't be doing that, this, that, and the other, but he's got all the time in the world. I don't see why, when you could practice slowing for pit entry. That's my qualm, is you can do a practice pit entry. Raven retires from the session early. We've got a few drivers on flying laps, a few drivers on out laps. Adam about to start a flyer after a double warm-up to burn off some fuel. Oh, come on, better on more cameras than that, please. Flexi on an out lap. Linus down with his teammate Intronsic. Intronsic vice champion, of course. We'll want to go one better this season, but Cushmania starting it off well, and Cush missed quite a few races last season and still won the title. So if he turns up to a few more, I think it will just be pole for Cush, win for Cush. But he does have bad days, and earlier on in the season, Gonzo was a little bit closer. Gonzo was one of the top guys, and will look to be up there. Cush found something at the midpoint. He came back after a couple races break, a different man. Just as a question, Gonzo, if you change username or something, or are you just missing out on this one? Darnland takes the checker quite far off the back. Mad Mark on a flying lap as well. We've got drivers on laps left, right and centre. Dom comes into the pits, no improvement there. For the AlphaTauri, it's spin for Red Bull further in the background. That's Snake going off. There's a Mercedes off. That's going to be Maz. Or was it Ash? It was Ash. There's yellows all up and down the grid. There's an AlphaTauri coming to the line here. Nope, dives into the pit lane then. A lot of drivers struggling on their final runs. What's this Aston Martin going to do? Dive into the pits. So Maz will be the first. Mazlan will be the first to finish the flying lap here. Round the final corner, what will it be for the Mercedes driver? Towards the line, DRS active, 8th gear, P2. But Cush is on a lap still. No, Cush has backed off then. So Flexi won't be able to challenge. Snake may be able to challenge. No, hasn't really gone for a fly. Lewis is invalid. LFC's in the pits. Hey, and Ash is invalid. So Cush, with that controversial lap, is on pole position. Yeah, could I get someone to it's way too late to clip, isn't it? Cushmania is on pole position. Wow, what a lap. To put it on pole halfway through the session is something else. Clip in post, yeah. Cushmania will be on pole then for the race. But he's got a lot of quick drivers very, very close behind him. This is going to be interesting. So we prepare to load in. A reminder, do not ready up until given the signal by one of the admin team. It does incur a penalty. And I do not want to see that on anyone. Alright then, waiting for players. Waiting to get going. Waiting for a new season of HRA. One that will, I'm sure, provide a lot of excitement. And me will shape our title fight here. It's only round 1, but we often see where the pecking order is here and how it will unfold. As we wait under the lights here in Bahrain for the race to get going, I am going to predict a Kush Grand Slam here. I think he will kick the season off in the best way possible. Maz will finish on the podium, and we will see a miracle performance from a couple drivers. We'll move up many positions. Those are my 3 predictions. 1 not very bold, 1 sort of bold, and 1 extremely bold. That one of the bottom 3 on the grid will finish, let's say, top half of the field, top half of the finishers, one of the bottom 3 on the grid. Those are my 3 bold predictions. I'd like to see yours in chat. And Kai, don't you go say Ferrari 1-2, because I know that's what you're typing right now. As would any team boss, admittedly. And I would look to get involved in being the team boss. But bias. I've been team boss when I'm commentating, and the bias slips through. It just does. Luckily, I won drivers and constructors, so I was very much into it when we won those. And plus, they're pretty much all taken, I believe, and I don't really intend to take that from people, and I don't think I'd get it in the first place. But I think all of our team bosses are absolute legends. They do a good job, put in a lot of work to make sure that in all 4 of our separate racing series, or divisions, I should call them, that there are 2 drivers in each car for each of them. And they keep it lively. Silly season is a thing in this. You always want to be not at the best team because it's equal, but the best team for atmosphere, because some teams may be made a little bit toxic by the drivers. Some teams may be a very calm atmosphere, and some may be just on it. And I mean on it in the terms of 100% focus for every race, spending hours working on setups, which I've been in a team in GSR Division 2 at McLaren, and I tell you what, I did like 3 or 4 race stints practice for the one race that I succeeded in, because the next race was Brazil, and then I gave up on that league. But the first race around Australia, it was just such a sweaty atmosphere. Everyone was tweaking the setup, saying, oh, I found 1,000th here, found a couple 100ths here. This corner I lost a 10th, but I gained 2 tenths at this corner. It's just sweaty atmospheres like that someone like me thrives in. Or calm atmosphere, that a more chilled, laid back driver who can just slap the setup on, do 3 laps in time trial, and be near enough perfect, which I don't get how people can do that. And we do see an emergence of them styles here. Those who put their head down and just drive for hours and hours of practice, and those who just turn up with a setup they found on YouTube and still get up there. And those, I don't get how they do it, man. It confuses me. It really does. That's where we're getting ready to go green here for the formation lap around Bahrain. Williams on pole, Mercedes second. It's all Mercedes power front row. Ferrari take up a few slots behind. And Red Bull, who were constructors last season, were left without drivers for quite a while, so they snapped up Snake. And they have settled with Zinc as the other driver. A driver who will be looking to correct the ways from the end of last season and sort of find a new step. I'm sure he's now read the rules and he can now race cleanly. Oh no, I've cursed him. I'm so sorry. Oh dear. He can now race cleanly, can he? It's only a formation lap. It's only a formation lap. Calm yourself. Oh dear. I'm gonna leave Zinc alone this race, I think. Just prevent anything else like that from happening again. No. Oh dear. But change the subject back to the race that's on hand. I will enable all the graphics and see that Cushmania is the only driver on the softs who's got quite a rainbow of compounds between the, not really soft, medium, hards, but medium, hard, medium, medium, hard, medium, hard. A lot of people looking for the alternate strategy around here. Mediums on low fuel around here is a massive benefit, admittedly. But Kush will be looking for a very extended soft stint here to try and make the one stop work. Or he may go for a two stop. He has decent pace around here, pole by just below 700 of a second, so close. And I do expect Maz to get the jump on the start. Sorry, I expect Kush to get the jump on the start and stay ahead. My brain not working. I think the Ferraris will look to move up a couple of positions here. Dom gets DSQ'd on the first grid start in this division. Same for Zinc, but P17 don't really matter. Hammer is on the back of the grid then. So here we go. We'll see the lights any moment. There's someone in the lobby with some sort of connection issues. We have an extended wait here, letting the anticipation build, building the tension. It could only be, as we still wait then for someone to connect in. Flexi has left the session. He has been disconnected. It's lights out and away we go then. Dom gets disconnected as well. So Kush gets a better start, better than Maz. Flexi's AR gets an amazing start, but he's not in the session. Then ghosting through that Snake with an amazing start. It's Chaos, 3 wide, further back. Snake gets a switchback. That's Flexi being spun. LFC is out of the race. Adam has been spun. Intronsic has been spun. Lewis has been spun. Zink's moved up a couple places. There's cars backwards, left, right, and centre. I will try and invite Dom to the session now, just to get him back in. Dom has just received an invite then to get back in. If someone could please invite Flexi back in. I don't think I have Flexi added on this account quite yet. Let me check. Flexi. I don't have Flexi added yet. That is a bummer. Again, if you're a driver watching this through, as that's a virtual safety car, if you're a driver watching this, please add this account on EA. If you see the HRA League account, add it on EA. If you're Xbox, add it to the friends list. If you're EA, add it, send it a friend request, and I will be accepting all the requests. As Intronsic gets disconnected, a lot of connection issues in this lobby it seems to be, but it's from the same few drivers as well. Flexi, this is his first issue this race. repeat name, HRA League. It's same username as in the session. So HRA in capitals, capital L EAGUE. Flexi back in it then. Flexi back in it, and he's not lost too many positions here. As we are green again, with Kush leading the way then. Maz follows suit. But further back, Flexi has been passed by another car. He will look to try and get back in the car here. He gets passed by another. He's now on the fringes of the points. Hammer will look to take advantage of this as well. Flexi dropping down the order. But if he can get back control of that car back, he will be able to make a charge back up the field. That's a car going off in the background. That would be Lewis having a bit of a moment there. Flexi now back in control of the Ferrari, and he will look to promote himself back up. Kush has a buffer now of 1.5 at the front. Maz will look to try and stay with him then. Maz, a lot of race pace. Kush with a lot of quality pace. It is a Leclerc, as that's wide again from Lewis, struggling to keep it in track limits here. Kush goes fastest then. He's extended the gap another 8/10 this lap, which you would surely expect. DRS is enabled already, and the field is very, very bunched up because of the early virtual safety car. Intronsic now back in the session, but he is miles down as there's battling here between Flexi and Lewis heading into turn 3. So 2 and 3, good stuff from Lewis, passing the Ferrari, who will now have Adam all behind him, and he will have to defend here because Adam may have a look to the inside, scares Flexi off the apex a bit. Flexi has been rattled here, goes off the track, and does gain an advantage, and then has an incident with Adam then. I think there was a car switch from what I could see. First impressions was that Adam understeered into Flexi, but that may just have been the camera angle. Flexi lagging all over the place here. And Flexi still was disconnected for a second. And finally gets control back of that car then. Finally, Flexi is now at the driver's seat, I believe. So Zink will have Mad Mark and Flexi behind to fight with very, very soon. Also got Raven closing on the back of the fast starting Ironland, who has started in the bottom 3 and moved up to the top half of the grid as it stands. What was I saying? It's a bold prediction. Oh dear. We appear to have had the first bot in the chat. So I will block. No, I don't want to report them. I just want to flat out block them. Spam confirmed. They won't be allowed. Oh, I realise I'm not even on my main account. Oh Jesus. Yeah. It's what it is. That's a spin there for Flexi. Ferrari's race is unfolding here. Please ignore that message from the bot in chat. Thought someone was writing a paragraph about my commentary. How's that? That can either be good or bad, not in between. As quite a few battles unfolding. 3-car battle for P8, a 3-car battle for P6. Sorry, 3-car battle for P9, 3-car battle for P6. We've got a 2-car battle here for P12 as well. 3 fights. And 8 cars then. Ironland looking to stay with Andreas here. Start to this race. Push leads by 3.2 now. His tyres will start to drop some point in the next few laps. near spin there for Ironland. That's invited Raven up to the back of him. The two drivers now go side by side, heading into turn 4. Raven on the inside, Ironland on the outside. A little nudge between them there, but great defending there from Ironland, who stays up ahead. Ironland just... I'm noticing get a little bit stronger on throttle today. In League of South Africa yesterday, throttle seemed to be an issue, confidence on throttle, but Ironland is finding improvement here. Now, it's just that initial throttle that Ironland needs to work on, and then maybe a little bit more lock at turn 1. Other than that, he's driving some really clean lines at some corners and messy at the other, or cleanly through some corners and messy at others. So again, more improvement from Ironland on his bid to find some time. But Raven doesn't care if he's finding time. Raven will just want to make a move. Dom defending there on Lewis, who'll look to get the switch back. Hammer has a perfect camera view of this as Lewis running off the track in an intensive pass and to back off the throttle. Now Hammer looks to the inside, scares Lewis off the apex a little bit. Hammer now alongside on the exit of the corner. They're side by side heading into the chicane here. Hammer backs out of it, but Lewis has gone slightly wide at the apex. Hammer will get the effect of the switchback and have the outside line for braking. Finally backs out a bit, and Lewis has to slow it down a bit more to get into the apex. That is over. But Raven on Ironland is still unfolding. Raven usually someone who favours quite a fast setup in the straight. Not sure what Ironland favours, to be honest. It differs track to track. As he's still staying ahead though of Raven, so I think there is a lot of straight line speed in that car. Don will look to get involved in this. Don not with a lot to prove here. He's proven it all in the lower division, but he will nonetheless want a good debut here. As that's contact. Oh, that's Raven hitting Ironland into a spin. Lewis gets collected. That's a full safety car. These two cars have got to be very, very careful. Big lock up for Flexi trying to avoid them. That was just, Raven nudging the back of Ironland. And Ironland again. I can't believe Ironland's luck. Yesterday in LSA, as Intronsic gets a drive through for speeding under a safety car, that is just misery for Intronsic this race. So I'm sure we'll dive into the pits here and retire. But Ironland has had horrible luck. It wouldn't be hooked up in Belgium. But again, he had so much pace here in Div 1. Struggled in qualifying, but had it hooked up in the race. But just taken out by no fault of his own. Snake gets a drive through as well. He's currently third. Wow. His safety car is a good thing for Kush, because it means that medium stint was done to perfection. Sorry, soft stint. So as they are about to start falling away, he can now pit, come out, I'd say ahead of Hammer here, or just behind Hammer. And be in a good position. Maz has to follow Kush in. What will Kush do? Medium or hard here? That is my interest. That looks like a set of hard tyres going on for both of them. Snake, who has a pit, I believe, on lap 1. No, he didn't, sorry. Snake started on these hards. Fontic gets a drive through. Another drive through. think I've ever seen two drivers through in a race before. That is ridiculous. Snake first. The Snake does have a drive-through penalty here. Blue will have to serve within 3 laps of the safety car going green because you cannot serve drive-throughs under safety car. Pavel stayed out. Maz has come out a couple positions behind Kush here, but he has the comfort knowing that he'll have plenty more pace than Zink and Hammer. Has to be careful around Zink. Zink struggling to get up to speed to Division 1 side-by-side racing, which is extremely tight. Nothing on Zink. That's just how it is in the top divisions. It's always such fine margins. And a small error of judgment can cause massive incident, as we've seen with Raven earlier on, taking Ironland out, who then spun. Dom got collected and by that lost his front wing. And then Lewis, an innocent bystander, rams into it as well. Dom lucky to be in this race still, admittedly. Not sure if there is any damage on that car. Fonzie gets a 3. This has been a miserable race from Fonzie. This has been horrible. It's been just a nightmare start to finish. We're only on lap 8 here. When the safety car gets underway, because Fonzie is miles off the pack. Are we about to see Fonzie go the fastest lap on the safety car? Imagine the scenes. Apologies to anyone speaking in the chat at this moment. Please hold back your messages because I'm leaving my account I'm logged into to view the chat, to then log into my enter my signing details and log into the HRA account so I can remove this Scumberg's message. I cannot move the Scumberg's message. Well, unfortunately the bot message will have to be there all race then. Intronzic's closing in, and I think he will be on the back of the pack for the start of this one then. Maybe the safety car reveals it's coming in very late here. Good reveal, there we go. Called it, and Snake knew it as well, warming them tyres up to the max here. We prepare to go racing again. This the first safety car of the race. First full safety car. We've had a virtual and we've had a full, and we have Snake darting, and he serves his drive through right away then. Does not want to give rules any slipstream. Cushmania already alongside Andreas. Heading into one. Kush with so much more potential on the brakes. Stamps on them and is up to second place, and now only has one car between him and P1. Maz, who really needed a better start here, is side by side with Adam. Adam making Maz work for it. Maz now will have to defend from the switchback. No, not quite. So Maz, he needs to find his way up to P2 pretty damn quick, because as soon as Kush passes rules, he will rocket into the distance, never to be seen again. As he is already side by side and ahead of rules. Kush just It's like he's on another level, driving away in a straight line and into this lead. This is not gonna be a Grand Slam for Kush. That prediction is out the window. A Maz podium, very much still in order. I'm not sure who qualified last. 3. Position change. Up 7, Mad Mark. He qualified last 3, I think. Hammer up 14. He qualified last 3. Zink qualified last 3. So I think it was Zink, Hammer and Mad Mark who were our bottom 3, and they all run within the top half of the points here. So far so good for my predictions, but there is still 18 laps for this to change, and 18 laps for Kush to run away with it, or for Maz to fight. And Maz struggling for peak pace here in an attempt to get up to the back of them. Ash has made an error. Mad Mark moves up the place. DRS should be enabled very, very soon here. Ash looking to have the better exit there, but Mad Mark using the DRS stays ahead for now. Intronsic yet to serve the drive-through. Snake served his drive-through. It's 11 seconds off, but has to pit again. Snake will look to take advantage of Rules, sort of backing the pack up here, but Rules, a very, very pacey driver, will not be backing the pack up too badly. As I'm just surfing for the closest battle on the track. Kush goes fastest. Maz here on Zing to the inside, DRS enabled, so we will see that on this small back straight for a lot of drivers. Zink tries to go side by side with Maz. Maz with the pressure rubber flies past the Red Bull, but the Red Bull of Zink will look to respond to this. Currently the leading Red Bull car, and Tronsic pits to serve the first of the drive-throughs. That's wide there for Hammer. Maz will look to get involved then. If not here, then on the main straight, but it will happen very, very shortly. Raven all over the back of Mad Mark. Better tyres for the McLaren and better pace all round, it has to be said, in this race in particular. Raven not with pace that's set in the world of light, but still with plenty of pace nonetheless. Look to find some improvement throughout the season to make sure he's at the sharp end of the grid, where a driver of his side-by-side and racecraft qualities really should be. Maz looking to be where he should be as well. Net P2, Raven past Mad Mark then, but Mad Mark might look to respond on straight. Raven just so much more DRS, but doesn't get the DRS from the cars ahead. Mad Mark will have the helping of DRS down the straight. There's side by side here between Adam and Zink. That's Adam to the inside at turn 1. Very nice move from the Haas. Zink struggling to hold turns, but this is great experience here for Zink. Pace-wise, seeing where the other drivers are slightly quicker than him, and also side-by-side racing and not hitting the back of people, as he so nearly did there. Maz is all over the back of Hammer here, but while it takes Maz ages to pick off the field, Kush is bolting 3.8 his gap now, but this is Maz side by side and ahead, heading into the infamous turn 910. Horrible in modern F1 cars, it has to be said, horrible in any car without ABS. As Mad Mark had a poor exit of sorts and has let Dom pass. Perhaps a team game going on there. Gonzi. What penalties are like? Still another drive-through for Gonzi. That will put him well down the order. Big lock up for Flexi there on the rear axle. You can tell it's a rear axle because you stop hearing the engine at its natural rev. Here comes Ash into turn 1. Here comes Raven behind him. Ash runs a little bit wide of the apex, looking for a switch back here on Torment. This is an extremely close fight here. Further up the road, Maz is all over the back of Andrews. That may happen very soon. Sorry, Andreas. Andreas. I cannot get it right. I don't know which one it is. Even after I've seen people say Andreas, people say Andrews. I can't. My brain. So I may still be surfing between them for quite a while to come. That's wide there for Maz. Trying to help on the crest to get past Andreas, but he is very close, so it won't make much of a difference. This tyre grip that Maz has is massive. Unless there's another safety car, we may see some pits up and down the field. Some pits. Some cars in the pits like Pushmania and Maz, but I think those cars should be able to make it to the end. DRS for Maz, ERS down the straight. Nice flick of the steering wheel, breaks it out of the toe and takes it into turn 1 then. Maz onto the podium as that's issues for Ash and Zink both into the pit. Zink putting the soft compound of tyres on. Will he try to go to the end on them? He may. Dom to the inside of his teammate Madnock, who's just got past him. Andreas has been passed by Hammer as well. And having a very strong race here. Andreas getting up to the back of Hammer. Hammer won't give this up easy though. Andreas knows that Andreas has less ERS than him, but not much less. Hammer cannot afford. Link to sign up to this league. That is a very good question. Could someone in chat provide him with a Discord link? As it's all to the inside, Adam side by side with Andreas. Now Adam will look to get involved on Hammer here. Adam has come out of nowhere here and has really livened up this battle here. And he has the overspeed down the second straight here. Has a little blank look to the inside of Hammer. He's forced him to go wide there. Adam has brought this race to life here and has passed Andreas and looked to pass another one there. There's a move further down the field, I believe. That was Mad Mark holding off Dom. So then Adam is driving this up. Yes, could someone provide a Discord link for Mr. George Plays? There's Adam all over the back of Hammer. Just to let you know as well, George, we race Div 2 Wednesdays. This is Division 1 on Fridays, Division 3 Sundays, and we have a realistic performance division as well on Mondays. I do recommend the realistic. I'm racing that myself. Very even. Adam not even to Hammer, way quicker than Hammer to the inside, cuts the corner a little bit. Gets a penalty there. Andreas will now have a look. Will Adam dive into the pits? He does here, so does Andreas, who gets a penalty for speeding into the pit lane. I think, George, to be honest, you have the honour of being the first quote-unquote random join the stream. We had a boost bot promoting free followers and viewers earlier, and now we have someone who's never heard of this league, which I hadn't, but it's a lovely little league, extremely clean racing, probably the cleanest I've seen in a good few years of commentating and racing. As Adam comes out the pits then, Andreas got him in the pit lane, but of course with a 5 second speeding, Torment all over the back of Flexi. That may happen very, very soon. I may go silent for just a second here because I'm going to try and scramble a link here to post in the chat. Whoa! Big save from Torment. Snap of oversteer. Luckily no one behind there. We could have possibly been collected, but that's really put him out of shape here for the fight with Flexi. Flexi as well, getting up to the back of Raven. Adam still holding on to Andreas. Think doing well on his soft, starting to close in on the back of Rules. Up the grid, that's Hammer into the pits as well. Torment right up on the back of Flexi. Flexi right up on the back of Ravens, and quite close fighting. Adam still sticking with Andreas. Apologies for the silence, just sorting out an invite here. Indeed, Push has the pace, Ironland. There's a Discord link, George. Flexi Torment battle. Flexi Torment Raven battle still as it was. Not in that audio, of course. This is Adam going for the move on Andreas. The Haas moving up a position as Andreas running very late on the brakes here will look to get the switchback, which doesn't have the front end sort of floating around at the mid corner. Also, George, just to let you know, a lot of the admin team, Ironland, who's in chat, may give you a hand, but the other kind gentleman, Hammer, he is currently racing, so there is only one of the main admins online, but I think he'll be able to give you a hand. I suggest stick around, watch your racing, because Division 1. Ironland, this George just wanted a invite to the Discord. Just found us out the blue and is looking to join this amazing league. This is brilliant. There's Flexi, big lock up there. That's Raven finally into the pits. That releases Flexi, but also means that Torment will have no issues then with Flexi getting in DRS, but Torment with his own issues, trying to hold on to the back here. Raven coming out the pits. Where will Raven be? It'll put him right in this fight here for P8. Indeed, it'll put him right in it as we ride on boards out of pit lane. It's side by side with car. No, not quite. But Ash will have much warmer tyres here and will look to get the run here, heading down the second straight here, the second DRS straight. No, not quite, but Ash will have so much more performance in the corners. Cold mediums or not. Cold hards are a lot worse in this game, but cold mediums are still a handful and a half. They will take about just shy of a lap to hit racing temperatures. And Raven is on the defensive big time here. Great fighting up and down the grid all the way through this race. That's wide for Raven. That invites Ash into the mix. Ash bullying the ERS. Raven bullying the ERS. They may go side by side here for a minute. No, Ash backs out of it, but he knows that his time faster in the corners is limited. Raven knows that as well, and he will look to put some sort of gap between himself and Ash before the main straight. 2 corners to do so, and a mistake there for Ash will allow Raven to gap him slightly. 5/10 the gap. Will it be enough for Raven to stay ahead, or will, with the help of DRS, Ash get past? It looks like Raven just about has kept himself safe here, but anything can happen down this main straight. It's looking set that Raven will hold it. He's had a brilliant outlap. Has held Ash off when the tyres are cold, and now here's medium to hard tyre advantage. 5 lap pressure, 1 compound step softer tyres will now give him the mechanical grip to bolt after hammer ahead. And Ash will try and use the DRS to stick with Raven. Of course, let the faster car bolt him off into the distance. That's all over the curbs there. Not a place you want to be. Just while we've got a second here before Adam makes a attacking play on Zinc here. Let's mention the leaders, and my word, they have driven this race amazingly. Flexi somehow from pretty much last and disconnected for the first couple laps has found himself up into P3. Maz with a great drive, fulfilling one of my predictions. Mad Marcus well fulfilling my prediction. Mad Mark. My 3 predictions were someone in the bottom 3 in qualifying will finish top half of the grid is Adam. Will look and move for a Zinc. My other was Push with a Grand Slam. That's not going to happen as Adam makes it happen on Zinc. He was looking to improve his driving standards in the season, and he's doing so very, very well. An honourable mention certainly goes out to Zinc, because he has kept it very, very clean so far, but his tyres are starting to drop off a cliff now. He goes to the inside of Adam. He's gone in too deep, but it was worth a try. What an overtaking look. It didn't pay off, but the absolute audacity from Zinc there to make the move on Adam. My word. But yeah, my other prediction was a Grand Slam from Kush. That's not going to happen. And Maz on the podium was another prediction. That's going to happen. So I think I'm 2 for 3 so far. Will not be 3 for 3. That is mathematically and literally impossible. But I mean, Kush is master of the impossible. Has to be said. Even racing laps though, not including safety car, Kush has not led every lap. He let that small gap that he built, that 3-4 seconds in the first stint before the safety car, he used that and allowed that gap when the pit stops came under safety car, allowed him to be 3 positions higher than Cushmania. Not high, sorry. Cushmania, it allowed Cushmania to be 3 positions higher than Maz. So Kush was able to get up into the lead and bolt while Maz was still trying to get up through the traffic. So it looks to have all settled a little bit here for round 1 of Division 1. flags down the straight. Snake or Intronsic having an issue? My word. Fishmania may lap someone here. Snake really needing a safety car here. Massively unfolded for Snake. Intronsic. Is it still saying that Intronsic has a drive-through? No. He serves both the drive-throughs. And that's yellow flags. That's Snake retiring from the session. Snake. Full safety car! Full safety car! Lap 24.29. The race has been blown wide open. Now it's anyone's game. Snake has retired from last place. He was about to get lapped, and he has just spiced this race up tenfold. Throw whatever performances you put into the race thus far out of the window, because we will have a few laps of racing here. Everyone into the pits. And Kush, my word, everyone on the soft tyre. I don't think we will have much time for everyone to merge up to the back of the safety car, but this will let Intronsic back into the mix. Actually, he's really far behind. But this will let a lot of drivers back into the mix. So this late race safety car is going to cause an absolute barnstormer of a finale to this race. We are going to have just laps of racing. We may not even see DRS again in this race. Kushmania into the pits. Will Maz come into the pits? Yes would be the answer to that question. Same for Flexi, Torment, Mad Mark and Andreas. They will all dive into the pits here. Surely. Indeed they do. Intronsic, does he stay ahead? Yes, Intronsic keeps his lap. Just about. Intronsic stays unlapped by the closest of margins. Intronsic can pass the safety car, and Kush cannot. So Intronsic may have had his race somewhat saved. It will allow him to sort of get up to the back of the pack, but the safety car will come in very soon. It's mediums for Kush, mediums for the leader. So Maz will have one step softer compound tyres, because Kush does not have any softs to use. He used his fresh set of softs at the start of this race, and the alternate strategy has just bit him in the backside. And it means that Andreas has stayed out. Flexi as well on the medium compound of tyre. We will see the field bunch up here, hopefully. Intronsic will be last of the runners. I believe this safety car, Intronsic 35 seconds off, probably a good minute off the safety car. If it waits for Intronsic, we will go green around lap 27 here. If not, we may see it at the end of lap 26. Oh, sorry, at the end of lap, yeah, it will either go green end of 26 or end of 27. So we will get either 3 or 2 racing laps. Remember, if it goes green at the end of 26, we will get 1. Only 2. So we'll have lap 26, end of 26, 17, 27, 28 and 29. So we'll see DRS if it goes green at the end of the next lap. It's not in yet. Intronsic has time to get to the back of the safety car, and it's not impossible that Intronsic will be in the fight here. Of course, no matter what, even if the safety car does come in when he's not on the back of the field, it will back up and it will allow him to gain, even if it does cap your throttle. But crucially, Andreas now into the pits. A blunder there from Andreas. He knows he would have dropped down the field. Possibly looking to not double stack with Torment, which was exactly what he was probably doing, but it has meant, and it means that he tumbles down the order. Flexi and Kushmania, the only medium runners. We think that Kush ran out of soft compound tyres, and Maz will have the upper hand here. I don't think it will be... I don't think Intronsic will get up to the back of the field. He's... How far off the lead is he? Yeah, he's 50 seconds off the lead. And he's 50 seconds off the pack. He may well get off to back up to the end of this lap. Maybe. But I think we will see it go green, and we may get one lap of DRS here, which would make the race incredibly exciting, as if it isn't already. This has been an amazing, solid race from start to finish. There was just moments of peace where I could reflect on the race, do some little sub-commentaries about people's races before Snake's race unfolded after the drive-through penalty. And Intronsic somehow, after having two drive-through penalties being given to him for speeding under safety car, he will be able to get on the back of the pack. I don't think we will go green at the end of this lap. Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be close. No, we just hit DRS detection, which I believe is safety car line 1. So we'll get one more lap under safety car. This has prevented the DRS, but we will see safety car in this lap. That we know. That we know for a fact. We will get just 2 laps of racing here. Kush will have 2 laps to fend for his life. He's trying to put as much temperature into the medium as possible. Maz and Torment plus Mad Mark, Rules, Zinc, Hammer, Raven, Adam, Ash, Dom, Andreas, and Intronsic. Sorry, Andreas on mediums, and so take him out of that list, and Intronsic all on the better tyre. The other 3 of them are going to have a tall order to gain any position for Andreas, gain or lose for Flexi, and a tall order to hold position for Kushmania. He's had the pace over Maz. He's had it was 700 was pretty much the gap in qualifying. But that's irrelevant. Qualifying is irrelevant. The race thus far is irrelevant. All that matters is these next couple laps, as that's Kush running off the track a small bit there. Luckily for Kush, Maz was not right behind, because it would have let Maz pass legally, and it would have stood up in a stewarding room as well as a pass, as we saw with Perez running off the track. Imola 21. He was passed by a couple cars who legally were able to pass him due to the fact he was off track. And then Perez decided, you know, I'm going to pass too, and he got himself a 10-second time penalty, I believe. Again, that's real life. This is in HRA, which I must admit provides just as good, if not better, racing than real life. So then we prepare the end of this season opener. It's only round 1, and I am already loving this Division 1 season. Same for Division 2. Kush warming the tyres, letting the safety car gap. When will Kushmania go? This is crucial as to if he can win the race. Torment, Mad Mark behind Maz. So Maz will have a couple faster cars behind. It's going to be green here. Going down the straight then. It's 4 wide further in the background for a second. 3 wide entering into turn 1. It's absolute chaos. There's cars left, right and centre. Further down, 3 wide heading into turn 2. That's Rules looking. There's still 3 wide. There's been 3 abreast still. The 2 corners. There's still 3 abreast. There's a car going off there. 3 wide. Now 2 wide. Who's that? Rules taking it. Rules, Torment side by side. Who's going to have it? It's Torment. Torment holds it. There's a yellow flag for Adam. It's spun. Zinc as well is out of the race. There will be no safety car because of this. 3 wide for 3 corners. What on earth is going on here? What safety car restart has been? Kushmania has got the best one possible. He will have just a lap and a half defend for his life against Maz, who will have so much more pace in him. Further down the grid, it's hard to tell, but Adam, here comes Adam on Ash. Adam is past Ash. Here comes Andreas on Intronsic, and Tronsic has made his way up to P10 from being nearly a lap down. He's P10, but he's got no front wing on that Ferrari. It's a heartbreak for Intronsic. He must have thought there was a chance of the win, but no, it's been snatched away. Luck has been cruel to Intronsic this race. It's been horrific for the Ferrari driver, but he will have a lap to try and defend. No front wing isn't too bad in this game compared to others, but it's still horrendous. 10, 15, maybe 20 seconds a lap he'll be slower, so he will find himself last. Here comes Rules as Adam off. He's gone wide, so Intronsic will not finish last. That's a dummy move there from Rules. Dummy. He's forced Torment onto the wrong line. That's Flexi being spun further down. Heartbreak for Flexi. It was looking so good, but it's looking good here for Rules, who's right up on the back of Torment. He can look round the outside. The Aston Martin on the Alfa Romeo. No, the Alfa Romeo of Torment cuts it off. Good defense from Torment. Maz is coming up to the back of Kush here. Will he be able to do it? 6/10 a lap. He's close in 2 tenths from where he was last lap. Side by side still. Torment holds off Rules. Ash gets past Flexi. Flexi looking to get back in the fight here. Back on the inside is Intronsic. He backs out of that one, but wide there for Ash. This means Intronsic will go front wing, go side by side. The gap at the front of the pack is extremely, extremely tight, but it may be that Cushmania is leading this. Torment and Rules still side by side. They've been battling for most of this lap. They still haven't made contact. That's Torment off. Rules has spun Torment has spun himself with Rules. I'm not quite sure what it was, but this means Mad Mark is into P3, but that don't matter. Cushmania wins. Maz P2. Mad Mark is going to get P3. What a performance from the AlphaTauri. He would be elated with that. Hammer P4, Rules P5, Dom P6, Andreas P7, Raven P8. Ash gets up to P9 on the line. Flexi P10 and Intronsic so close to points. Maybe if he had kept some of a front wing, it would have been possible. But what an end to the race. My voice, man. What is this? Division 1 providing racing. As always, amazing, amazing. The last 2 laps of that race were edge of the seat stuff, and Mad Mark gets driver of the day. He gets my driver of the day as well. A podium from Mad Mark. Again, he will be elated with that, but so will Cushmania, despite being on the slower tyre, despite having his 20-second gap cut down to 0 with 2 laps to go. He still takes the win over Maslin. My word, Cushmania will be relieved. Maz will be disappointed that he couldn't make the most of them tyres, but Mad Mark will be celebrating that, and he will pass you long into the night, as will Cushmania. What a debut race of the season. My word, more of this to come, I'm sure. Cushmania has somehow taken advantage of the chaos. He kept it clean at the front all race long, and he takes the win then. Maz P2. Them top 2 staying in their positions, but look at that. P3 from Mad Mark from P16, and Hammer from P18 on the grid up to P4. We've got Rules from P12 on the grid to P5. We've got Dom from P11 to P6. We've got Andreas moving up a position, Raven moving up positions, Ash moving up positions. Flexi and Intronsic having horrible starts to the race, moved down. Torment P12. Adam still technically classified despite retiring in the pits. Zinc as well, still technically classified despite being crashed out. What an end to that race. Snake, Ironland, Lewis and LFC are DNFs. Did not finish this. They did not finish, but they got to watch this. They got to witness it from our eyes. Suss that last safety car, says Flexi. Yes, I don't know. Ooh. It didn't quite work though, did it though, Flexi? Zing wasn't able to make much of it. I think, yeah. If anyone has the onboard there from Snake, I would like to see what happened there. That was very, very suspicious. But suspicious or not, honestly, mate, I don't really care. If it was intentional, then the stewards will find out. They always do. But it provided an amazing end to that race. My voice has been blown out. It was blown out 30 seconds into the safety. Like 5 seconds. But we were 3 wide for 3 corners, pretty much. That is mental. 3 wide for 3 or 4 corners. Up to just before turn 4. What an end to that race. And Division 1 does it yet again. Speechless. And I think the 3 podium drivers are speechless as well, because they're still sitting in the lobby, sort of looking at the 1, 2, and 3, looking at the points next to their name. Kush is out of here. Job done. Maz will be disappointed with that. But still a decent debut. P2 is better than P3 at the end of the day. But Mad Mark won't care about that. Mad Mark has somehow finessed from P16 a P3. The AlphaTauri driver, AlphaTauri, who didn't score points, I think, for the first 3 or 4 races of last season, have bagged 2 very good points finishes. And Mad Mark drove for them last season. They just weren't getting points. And it was looking set that only Dom would get points. Dom P6 at the end of play here. But Mad Mark has finessed it. My prediction of the bottom 3 getting top half of the grid was blown out the water. We had from last Hammer, we had Hammer up to P4 and Mad Mark from second to last. So him, Zinc, and Hammer were the bottom 3. He got a podium. My word. Who cares about predictions? No one could have predicted that. No one. Not even the person who predicted the 2020 Italian Grand Prix podium correctly. And that's saying something. Because that man won big cash. But my word. Place your bets for the title, people. Good luck getting it right, because after that, I don't have a clue. But we know Mad Mark can be Division 1 champion by the end of this season. It would be a tall order, but with more miraculous races like that, more late race safety cars and excitement, we will see it again and again. Division 1, we always see it. It always provides, and it's done it yet again. I'm going to round this off here and say this has been HRA League streaming from the first time in a while from the official account on the new official Xbox account. Finally, the dream has come true for streaming. As Flexi saying the curse has been broken. But it's finally, we're streaming. I had the idea, I think, in Silverstone for Division 2 or Division 1 last season of this. I said it out loud on stream. No one actually held it to me, but Wednesday there was just a motivation. We got it done. So we now will have a more streamlined content program behind this league. George, I'm about to finish the stream. Skip to where you were, my friend, because that was one hell of a finale, and it will get you so hyped to drive in this amazing league. It's provided once again a thrilling end to the race, a thrilling start to the Division 1 season, and I cannot wait to see where it goes from now. But from me, I've been Apollo. This has been HRA League Division 1, Round 1 at Bahrain. A barnstormer of a race that we will see much more of this season. But till next time, we'll see ya. Peace.